Welcome back to the Relius Reviews. Today's review is focused on 2021 movie entitled Silent Night. And the official synopsis of Silent Night is Nell, Simon, and their son are ready to welcome friends and family for what promises to be a perfect Christmas gathering. Perfect except for one thing. Everyone is going to die. And before I give up my review, please like and subscribe and comment and tell me what I should review next. And I would say maybe the first things that I enjoyed about this movie were the actors, the actresses. I felt like many of the actors that was in this movie, they gave out a pretty good performance when it came with the characters, as you have a variety of different characters with different backgrounds who all believe in somewhat of the same things and somewhat of just different things as well. I feel like all of the characters, all of the main characters did a good job. Like none of their performances was bad. The acting, it was good for the most part. I didn't have a bad time with the acting. I didn't feel like the acting was cringeworthy. I didn't feel like no one performed horribly, but I felt like all of the actors that was in this movie did a good job and everything. The story was somewhat interesting. It was strange at the same time as well. It starts off on a perfect route where families and friends are reuniting for Christmas dinners and everything. You catching up on old times. Sometimes maybe the bad blood, maybe some old tensions get rehashed and everything. As a lot of just different conversations were had in this movie, and some things related to the real world was also discussed in this movie as well. Although they don't say it, but it is heavily implied that it is what they're talking about. And I felt like the story, it was just okay. Very strange, but also at the same time, very, very dark with the last acts of the movie. And I would describe this movie to be comedy and dark. Like, this movie does go two different routes. It does somewhat start off like a comedy movie, but then it slowly transitions into something more darker, something more sinister when the movie progresses forward. And I did like that about this movie, that it went through two different routes. And I would say maybe the first things that I did not like about this movie was that I felt like the first act of the movie was forgettable. Like, the first act of the movie was somewhat forgettable, as nothing really happened in this movie that was important. I felt like the third and like the final act of the movie was the best part of the movie, because it had transitioned into a dark movie, very dark movie, with some of the things that had transpired and some of the things that had already happened or what was about to happen. I just wish that this movie would have had like a dark route throughout the entire movie, like slowly becoming more darker and darker as the movie progressed forward and everything else. Another thing that I did not like about this movie was that I felt like this movie was too reliant on some of the conversations that some of the characters had in this movie. And sometimes I did felt like it was just a little bit too much when they were just talking about certain things. Like, I got the point when it was discussed the first time, you don't have to keep talking about it or keep shoving it down our throats and everything else. And the last things that I did not like about this movie was the ending. Like, really? Like, y'all just gonna end it like that? Like, with the ending, some things were to happen, but I did not expect that final shot to be that. Like, it's just so many questions that needs to be answered, and I did not like that ending at all. Like, really? Y'all really gonna go with that? But I would say, despite those things, I felt like Silent Night, it was not a bad movie at all. It has a comedy route. It has a very dark route that I really did enjoy. You do have characters that you like and everything. And that's all I'm probably going to say about this, and how I would rate Silent Night out of 5 stars. I would probably give Silent Night maybe 3 stars out of 5. So thank you for watching, and until next time, goodbye.